As I lay in my hospital bed, the sterile scent of disinfectant permeating the air, I couldn't shake the feeling of unease that settled deep within my bones. The fluorescent lights above flickered intermittently, casting eerie shadows that danced across the stark white walls. It was past midnight, and the hospital corridors lay deserted, save for the occasional distant sound of footsteps echoing ominously. I had been admitted to St. Agnes Hospital after a car accident left me with a broken leg and several fractured ribs. The doctors assured me that I would make a full recovery, but as the days dragged on, I couldn't shake the growing sense of dread that consumed me. It started innocently enough, strange whispers that seemed to echo from the dark corners of my room when I was alone. At first, I dismissed them as the product of an overactive imagination, a side effect of the pain medication coursing through my veins. But soon, the whispers grew louder, more insistent, their words unintelligible, yet undeniably menacing. One night, as I lay awake in bed, the whispers reached a fever pitch, swirling around me like a sinister cacophony. I squeezed my eyes shut, praying for them to cease. But when I opened them again, I found myself no longer in my hospital room. Instead, I stood in a dimly lit hallway, the walls lined with rusted medical equipment and tattered curtains that swayed gently in an unseen breeze. The air was thick with the scent of decay, and a chill crept down my spine as I realized I was not alone. Figures lurked in the shadows, their faces obscured by darkness as they shuffled silently towards me, their movements jerky and unnatural. Panic surged through me and I stumbled backward, my broken leg protesting with each step. But no matter how fast I ran, the hallway stretched on endlessly, trapping me in its suffocating embrace. As I frantically searched for an escape, a voice whispered in my ear, cold and hollow like the breath of the grave. "You cannot leave," it hissed, sending a shiver down my spine. "You belong to us now." With a sudden jolt, I awoke back in my hospital bed, drenched in a cold sweat, my heart pounding in my chest. It had all been a dream, I told myself, a trick of my fevered mind. But as I glanced around the room, my eyes fell upon a figure standing in the far corner, its features obscured by darkness. I blinked, and it was gone, leaving me to wonder if it had ever been there at all. Terrified, I reached for the call button, but when I pressed it, there was no response. Panic rising within me, I fumbled for my phone, only to find it missing from the bedside table where I had left it. Desperate now, I swung my legs over the side of the bed, wincing as pain shot through my injured limb. Ignoring the protest of my body, I forced myself to stand, determined to find help and escape whatever malevolent force had taken hold of the hospital. But as I limped down the deserted corridors, the air grew thick with a suffocating dread, and the whispers returned, louder and more insistent than before. Shadows danced at the edges of my vision, and I felt as though 1,000 unseen eyes were watching my every move. I stumbled onward, my heart racing with fear, until at last, I reached the nurse's station. But when I called out for help, there was no response, only the echoing emptiness of the abandoned hospital. And then, from the darkness behind me, came a voice, low and guttural, dripping with malice. "You should not have come here," it growled, and with a sinking feeling in the pit of my stomach, I realized that I was not alone. The hospital itself was alive with a malevolent energy, a force beyond comprehension that hungered for my soul. And as I stood frozen in terror, I knew that I would never escape its clutches alive. For in the heart of St. Agnes Hospital, something ancient and evil stirred, and I was its unwitting prey.